Hi there, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome along to the hashtag ABC April 2025 collaboration. I'm going off piste at this stage. I've missed a few days. Um, I'm sorry about that. There's nothing I could do about it. So today should have been you, I think. You 26th, I think so. Upcycling underneath, but for us, you is going to be decorating the folio. So it's you for decorating today. Um, so I'm sorry, but we'll try and get this journal, this little folio put with all the bits in it. So let's have a look and see. Oh yeah, so last time we put all the signatures in, of which there are, how many are there? The single pieces of paper, each sewn in independently. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 altogether. I just want to get rid of these bits of Frixion that are still there that we put in to help us see where to put the. There you are. You can see it's chasing that away. Excellent. Lovely. And that's that. That's that. Lovely. So there's all our signatures, and we started decorating on this page. This is the front page, and I did some very sloppy spraying through stencils, etc., just to give the background page something to hang your hat on, as it were. So this, as you can see, it's got sort of stencils in behind it. And then I chose this belly band with a butterfly on and this journaling card to go in there. Now it might be that this is a bit loose in there, and if that proves to be the case, for every time I move it that's slopping around, I'll just put some glue underneath it just to shorten the belly band, if you like, so it'll go in and out, but it won't slide around and annoy us. So moving on to the next page, and I had a look through. This is lovely, isn't it? I had a look through at what we have, and I came across. Do you remember when we did the Craft Resist? The K was for Craft Resist, and we made this. I just think it's gorgeous. I love it. It's possibly my favourite thing that we made, and it's just a loose sort of waterfall journaling spot, and there's journaling to be had all over that, so there's lots of journaling. So it's a whole page, so it's going to go on there. But the thing that kind of slightly annoys me is these don't lie flat. So I was thinking to myself, what shall I do? How shall I rectify that? I don't want to put Velcro on it. Otherwise, when you do that, you'll see the Velcro dots here and on here. It's too late to put a magnet on unless I've covered that, and I don't really want to do that. So I thought, what about our altered paper clips? Great idea, but they aren't long enough. They don't reach to this one. So what I'm going to do today is do two things. When we were doing the Craft Resist, I told you that if you didn't have the sort of bought pre-prepared Craft Resist, you could make your own by embossing with clear embossing powder, and then when you put inks or anything over the top of it, it would act as a resist. So I think we'll make today a longer, thinner altered paper clip to go along there to keep these down nice and flat. But the first thing is we need to stick this into the journal. Now I've got, yeah, I think I am going to have to do that. It's going to annoy me. Got something on that page. I could put that there, but I think, I'll just go to a random. That's really, I really like that. I don't want to cover that. Yeah, how about this one? This one. This one. We'll do this one. For no good reason. Just we're doing this one. So I'm going to stick that down onto there. And that's so pretty. I don't think the camera shows this up just how pretty that is. But it doesn't matter. Take my word for it. Trust me. Well, I'm not a doctor, so you don't need to trust me. But I'm telling you, it looks brighter, I think, in real life. So I'm using my Collall glue because it's a large area, and this is in one of these Sugar Bell bottles, decanted into one of these Sugar Bell bottles that Tony Vince kindly donated to me a long time ago now, but I was very grateful to get it. So let's stick that down quite near the edge, well, an eighth of an inch away from the edge, and that leaves a good eighth of an inch on the spine side. So that's that. Give it a good press down. There we go. It's in. It's in our book. Must be real. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's so nice. Oh dear. Get over yourself, girl. Right, so let's make some craft resist. Just make sure that's stuck down nicely. Right, so let's set that aside and make us some craft resist. Okay, now because I want a long, thin altered paper clip, this is a piece of A3, which is an double A4, and I've cut it down the long side, so it actually measures 14, 15, 16, about 16 3/4. And that's, as it turned out, that was about the perfect size. So it's got a right and a wrong way. So I'm going to, this is how I make my altered paper clips. If you missed that one, then this is it. It's as easy as you like. You fold the two short ends up to meet each other, then fold that back and crease that in. Then you fold one short edge to meet that end that you've just creased in. I mean, this, guys, it's as simple as it gets. Fold that up and crease that in, and then the other one. Like that. There we are. So we have the paper clip's going to go on there, so we have an altered paper clip. Let's get the paper clip out and you'll be able to imagine it a bit better. These are all metallic and they're shiny, but they're the only ones I've got that's anything like the right size. Just going to open that up a little bit because it does get a bit tight. So that goes on there, on that bit, on the bit, the middle section. If you hold it so it looks like a W, it goes on the middle section. So that's going to go there, like that. That's going to fold back to there and get glued. That's going to, and this is where our page is going to go in here. Excellent. So far, so blooming good. I'm just looking for a bit of paper to show you. If this was the page, it would go on like that. Well, it'd be straight. But that's how it's going to go on. All right? Okay. So, first thing to do is, I saw my double-sided tape a minute ago now, I can't remember where it was. Because everything is such a blooming mess. Oh, is it down? Right, there it is. I'm just going to lay that out or I'll forget it. I'll forget to use it. We need to use that later on. So what I want to decorate then really is this piece and this piece. There's no point decorating the middle bits because you'll never see them. So yeah, this side. So we know we want to decorate this side. And we know it kind of matters on this one which way is up really. So we know that this is the top. So I'm just going to hold it like that. I'm not altering anything. And I decided, because it's a botanic one, you could use butterflies, you could use little mushrooms, could just use text, whatever. But I'm going to use these leaves. And I think they'll look quite nice. Hopefully so. So let's take this sycamore maple looking one off. And I've got embossing glue, an embossing stamp, and I've got clear embossing powder. And I'm just going to get a piece of, well, yeah, it's scrap paper, it's just very thin photocopy paper. And my stamp block, let's open this up in readiness. There, I think we're ready to go. So just stamp this into this stamp block. You can get all sorts of stamping stuff, watermark, distress do, Tim Holtz Ranger do one. And because you're doing it onto craft, it's a bit difficult to see, but that looks all right. I'm just going to use the same stamp all the way across, altering its position slightly, but not much. I don't know, I think one more might do that. Put that about there. Lovely. Put my embossing powder on because craft paper is a bit thirsty. It drinks up the inky stuff, the gluey stuff. Tap that off, and I've still got some little bits of embossing powder up here where they have no right to be. So I'm going to take a soft, very soft paintbrush and just loosen those up off the page. And a couple of little bits down there. And that's fine. So let's just, before we heat emboss that, let's put the things away that I'm liable to spill. And let's put the ink away because we don't want it to dry up. And then let's just emboss that. So just turn your heat gun on, let it heat up. I've just been using this so it won't take long. And then just hold it over your embossing powder and you'll see it goes shiny. And it's already going. There we go. Really doesn't take long. And there we have it. So that's our three little, I'll call them maples, maple leaves, I believe. So I want to do the other end one now. And I will say to you, if you've been using the embossing glue, make sure that you clean your stamp thoroughly. I'm using a clean wet wipe for this. You could use hot soapy water, whatever, but don't leave the glue on it or you'll never get a good image from it ever again. Take my word for that, because I know that to be true. Which leaf shall we use next? I quite like this one. It's too tall, but we can angle it around a little bit. If I can get it off there, would be a help. There we go. Right, so let's get organised again. Open the glue. pop this underneath, get my embossing powder, and off we go. So just have fun, use what you want to use. Text looks particularly good, I think, with Craft Resist like this. But this one I thought called for something more botanical, hence I'm using leaves. Okay, so let's pour our powder onto that. And it seems like you're using a heck of a lot of powder, but in reality you're using tiny bits. That looks pretty good. I don't think we've picked up any extraneous stuff there. I did stamp that over the edge, so I'm just going to get rid of that because we don't need it. And put this back in the tub. I have had this tub, oh, I couldn't even tell you how many years I've had it. It never seems to go down. So that's us, we're tidied up now. So let's just get rid of any stuff that's on there and emboss these. Hope everybody's doing okay. I haven't heard from anybody for a while actually, which is unusual. There's usually several people a day that message me, but I don't know. Maybe because, you know, I haven't been feeling very well. And there we go, that's it. So there's our leaves. So when you hold them like that, that's what we've got. Got those. They look lovely like that actually, even, don't they? Right, so I'm just going to get my splat box out. You don't really need a splat box. I don't need a splat box anyway because I'm using these old dabbers. If you haven't got the dabbers and you've got the spray, then definitely use a splat box. So I'm choosing Barn Door and Mustard Seed, which were the colours I used in the page that we've just stuck in. So these are quite autumnal colours, which was the other thing that drew me towards them. Leaves, I mean, drew me towards the leaves. So I'm just going to put that on there, then get the mustard seed and just blend that through. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's that one. Let's do the one on the other end. Same colours. I want plenty of ink down, because as I say, this blooming craft paper, it just drinks it up. I'm just going over the edge there, so I've got a blended line rather than a straight edge. Lovely. So I just want to dry those off and check and make sure we're happy with everything. I think I will be, but we'll see. I'll dry those off and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we are, they're dry, they look lovely. I'm just going to take my soft towel to it and just rub over it, just in case there's any ink still sitting on the top of the embossing powder. There shouldn't be, but... And there we have it, our very own Craft Resist that you can make with anything, any stamp that you've got you can make it with. So what I'm going to do now is just whip around the edges, and I'm using archival here because I wanted to go over everything, and ordinary distress won't go over the embossed areas, so I'm using archival. So is anybody else at the stage where they're decorating their folio? Did anybody else make a folio? Probably not. But it is a nice project to look back on. You know, it's all in one video how to make it, and it's really not difficult. Just inking around, that makes it look so much better. There we go, right. So now we can make it up into a paper clip. So we want the, here is where I want to remember to put my double-sided down, just to grab that paper clip. So I want it there, and going down the other side to about as long as the paper clip is, which I don't know, but seems like a good length. Give that a good burnish down. And then peel the release tape off. And put your paper clip over. And you've got to be a bit careful here because it wants to wrinkle that double-sided, but you can do it. There we go. So that's given it a good start. Mine's sticky to hold it in place. And then I'm just going to use my glue and go over the paper clip, fill that little well in the middle, and you want plenty of glue. Because it's not as wide as the ones that we made the last time, there's more of a problem getting the card to sit nicely over the clip. So you really do need loads of glue around that paper clip. And then fold that up. See what I mean? We haven't got enough card to kind of lose the paper clip, so you really have got to glue it and then clip it for its life. But I'll just hang on to that just for a second, just till it starts to tack. Okay, let's do the other side. So it was the Pope's funeral today, so for all of my watchers who are Catholic, I appreciate it. It's been a big day, and as I'm filming this, we have no new Pope, but hopefully they won't be in conclave too long. So yeah, I just wanted you to know that I was thinking of you, that was all. There we go, we've got loads of glue on there. So fold that over and press that down where you want it to go, and then get your clips out and clip it for all it's worth. And then you have to just walk away. Just walk away and leave it, and it'll do its thing. It'll be fine. particularly around where the paper clip is. Let's get some more clips. It's like a quiz. This. How many clips can you get on an altered paper clip? Quite a few, as it turns out. So that will dry now, hopefully, all stuck together nicely. But in anticipation of this, I have already made another one. And I made this one with smaller leaves, and that one's the same stamp set, but they're sort of berries, I think. So I have one ready to go. Let's just give that a final press down in the middle there. Lovely. And I'll leave that overnight probably. Okay, so come here then. Let's see if our little cunning plan works. So it's going to go that way. The leaves are pointing up. So get it in the middle of my paper clip there. Look at that. That's exactly what I had in mind. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Oh, that's amazing. Just clean that stamp, which I'd forgotten about. There we are. Right. So yeah, there you go. And of course you can do yours in any design you like, or just merely file it away in the back of your mind as a good device for keeping things flat on a page. Now on the other side, we've got a clip as well. This is also a clip. And I don't really want to cover this up permanently. Don't look at that side, that's not so nice, but this side is lovely. So I think something like a journal card or something like that. Let's get out the box of goodness and see if we've got something that we could just slide into there. I haven't got the strength. That's it. Let's see what we've got, what we can use. Well, I've got another one. That would go nicely, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's a strong contender. Those are over the page ones. The page pockets, no. They're very nice, aren't they? Yeah, I like that. The postcards, all of which would do really well there. Oh my goodness, we've made some nice stuff. Yeah, those are the ordinary sized paper clips. So you see we haven't got a chance of them fitting. They're just not long enough. Belly band, pockets, postcard, tag. These tags yet to be decorated. No, don't need a library pocket. That's going to go in a pocket somewhere. Pocket. Tag. They're going to go in pockets as well. Notebook. No. Full pages. Edith. It's quite nice, isn't it? Anyway, no, I'm still down to this, which I really like. But you know what? I think that is the winner. Because of the autumnal colours, it seems odd that we've used the same thing twice now. But you know, we made them to go in the folio, and that's a perfect fit for it there, I think. So let's put that in, see what we think it looks like. I hope it's going to look nice, is what I hope it's going to look like. So that can just slide under there. That holds that perfectly. And then this can come out, be written on. Still see that gorgeousness there. There we go. And it, I mean, it was made for that. I don't know why. This is yellow. It looks very dull, but it's actually yellow. And it's quite a nice yellow as well. And yeah, that just goes. So, quite pleased with today's work. That's kind of 2 pages we've got done, really, isn't it? Because we've done this one. Nice. And this one. And this paper clip here lives to see another day. It's going to be like that. And I might use that one because I think I probably prefer the maple. But, you know, can't do anything about that now. You'll see in the next instalment which I decided to use. But, you know, we'll have 2 anyway. Should we need to? I don't think we do need to, but we'll have 2. So that is today's. I know it's a short one, guys, but the last time I was so tired afterwards that it took me a day to recover. So I'm trying to just do shorter ones, but to get on more often. I hope you understand. So there we go. Perfectly perfect, I would say. And that's just a joy. Really is a joy. Okay, so thanks very, very much. Thanks for your patience and your tolerance. I'm doing the very best I can, honestly. I promise you I am. And I'll see you when I see you. I am aiming to see you tomorrow. But we'll see how it goes. So thanks for joining me. Do take care, everybody. And I hope that everybody's doing all right. And I'll see you soon. Bye.